Well, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to get right into this. Haven't had much time lately. Having a newborn baby does not allow me to do much, which is fine. He's a great little kid, but just got to do dad things sometimes. So we're going to try and get as much done as we can on this today. Might be wondering, well, you can probably tell what it's going to be. So I went to Harbor Freight. I'm thinking, why can't I build my own off-road jack? So that's what we're going to do. I picked up a 1.5 ton from Harbor Freight, aluminum. That way it's a little bit lighter than the steel ones. Actually, quite a bit lighter comparatively. And four wheels. They're all rated at 1,100 pounds a piece. So that should be just enough to hold the truck up without shattering under its own weight and all that other stuff. We got some washers. We have the clips to hold the wheels on, and a 5/8 zinc plated axle from Lowe's. So you can get all this stuff at your hardware store after you go to Harbor Freight and buy the jack. You can buy whichever one you want. I'm sure this crosses over, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do and see if this will work. I mean, never tried it, so this could be a big failure or it could be, something pretty cool. I don't use a jack off-road that much. I'm sure when I start to need to, I might have to bump it up a little bit bigger, but hey, this will help if I'm ever in a bind and I need one. Other than carrying a high lift jack, because everybody has that. And not many people I see build their own off-road jacks. So we'll get right into it. If you guys want to follow along, just stay tuned. Okay, so we got this thing stripped down. That handle on the side, I had to shave down a hex to get it in there. You can see, shave down hex to get that out, or an Allen key, sorry, Allen key. And then the front rollers off. There's a pile of just random parts over here. So this won't be going back on. So we're gonna get the holes a little bit bigger in the front. It needs to be 5/8 for that shaft to go through. And then I'll tack on some washers on the outside and inside of the wheels. See if we can get the front mounted up. And then in the end, obviously we want the jack to sit level, not leaning down, which it wouldn't really matter off-road because it's gonna go so high, but it will tilt, I would imagine. Kind of put all the pressure to the front of the jack and not be as stable as it was when you brand new. So. All right, well, that's the progress so far. Just want to show you that little tip. You have to kind of shave down a hex or an Allen key if you're going to get inside there to get the handle off, which you're going to need to because that tire is pretty big. Goes back, you can see the hole for the handle. That's where it came through at, so that would obviously not work anymore. All right, continuing on. All right, there it is. The jack is complete. I am no professional fabricator. I don't have anything other than regular shop tools. You can see all the tools laying around to make this. So just give you a brief rundown. This front axle is new, made out of 5/8 solid zinc plated rod. In the back, I had to make a plate. You can see it on the outsides of the frame there. Drilled a 5/8 hole, mounted brackets up to it on the inside. You can see the bolts down in there. That bolt, the blocks to the other side, I didn't want nuts on there. I didn't want it to be any kind of way to wiggle loose. So triangle set of bolts, holds it pretty tight. The axle in the back was made, bumped out with 2 washers to clear the bolts so nothing rubs anymore. And then we have the little snap lock C-clips on the sides with a washer holding it on. And it lifts the truck just fine. I need to make a little extension on the front. And by the way, I just want to mention this is no way a copy of Pro Eagle. I've looked at theirs. Theirs is way different. So I just want to put that out there. Don't say, oh, you copied off of Pro Eagle, because I did not. Never even seen one in person. I just looked on the internet to make sure that I wasn't copying anything, so there was no issues. This is just some Lowe's hardware, some Harbor Freight jack wheels, and some miscellaneous nuts and bolts and hardware from, like I said, Lowe's and the Home Depot. So you guys can do this on your own if you got a few hours. It took me probably 6 hours because I was on and off, in and out. I'd get like one thing done a day for a couple days. Didn't have time really to work on it full time. So luckily today I got it knocked out, but it's done. If you guys want to see this thing actually lifting up the whole back end of the truck, I'm gonna make a video and you'll see it right after this clip. Thanks guys. Put your comments down below. What do you think of it? Think it's pretty neat. So it's something you'd want to build if you had time, and how handy it'll be off-road. It is actually fairly light. I mean, no effort at all to pick this thing up. And it's nothing like carrying a steel jack around. So I get why this will be pretty useful off-road. Even if I use it once and it saves me once, that's all I need. All right, stay tuned for the lifting of the truck with this new jack. Now, it is maxed out because I need to make a riser for it, but as you can see, it holds the weight of the truck pretty well. No clanks, no booms, no crashes. So I think we're doing all right. Well, that is it. So like I said, I'm gonna make an extension that goes on here, taking the rubber off, and then I'll have to make a bracket that sits down in there, probably bolt or maybe even get a steel one of these to be able to weld it to it. So that way the bracket really never comes off, because I don't really need it off. And like I said, don't use a jack off-road much. I mean, if I do need it once, it'll save me, but hey, I'm gonna keep the extension on there all the way, and it won't be able to come off, so that way there's no issues of it falling over or something when I do need it to lift the side of the truck, especially on the sliders on the side, and that way it's a little bit more safe. So that's it, guys. So if you liked it, put a comment down below, let me know what you think. And stay tuned for the next one. I think we're going wheeling here soon. There's an off-road expo coming up, going to Flat Nasty, and hopefully conquering the waterfall in this thing. And then really want to stay tuned for this year, because this truck is going to get a transformation that I don't think I've seen on anybody else's. So we'll just say that I won't have any way to carry groceries back here anymore. All right, have a good one, guys.